At this time, I'd like to remind you that I'm not your financial advisor and this is not financial advice. My YouTube channel is for entertainment purposes only and to document my journey in the crypto space. I encourage you to pause the video at this time to read the full disclaimer. And now let's get on with the show. Okay guys, welcome back to the Crypto Wave. Wanted to do part one of a series. This is a huge project that's going to be coming out. Well, huge in the aspect of this, there's just so many moving parts to it that I'm going to try and break it down into different sections. So this is just going to be part one, which is more just tell you that I'm watching it, what is it, what can we kind of expect. And in the next series, in the next videos, I'm going to dig into each kind of independent area and dive into a little bit more. So welcome to, and again, I believe it's called Privi. Welcome to Privi. It's going to be a new social site. Just like you know, everybody's familiar with social sites, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all those types of things. Well, what they're actually trying to do, and this isn't a unique idea, they want to take a social network and put it onto the decentralized blockchain. However, what is going to be unique is how they're doing it. There's so many features to this new Privi network that are just absolutely mind-blowing, and I think it's going to set it above the rest. So without further ado, let's kind of dig into the website here a little bit. Obviously, it's going to be a social site, so this is going to be where you can create communities, and it's powered on the blockchain, so everything's going to be decentralized as opposed to Twitter. We all familiar with people getting banned off of Twitter, off of YouTube for posting certain things. Well, I'm imagining they're going to have some type, or there'll be some type of a self-governed mechanism that will allow for regulations as to what gets posted within communities. However, the purpose of this is to be decentralized. So this is going to be a social and finance network designed with the creators and communities in mind, all decentralized, so you run your own community. We'll go into it more in another part, perhaps part 2 or 3, but this is actually built for communities. As a creator, you can actually create groups within Privi. Those groups have so many different interchangeable things that you can do. Not only are you on the network itself, you can actually create groups where you can create a token that governizes within your community. So people who are following you now can invest in you. They can invest in the group. You can create DAO tokens or governance tokens. You can create NFTs and various things that kind of incentivize the community that's following you, which is really unique, and it really puts the power back into the hand of the creators. And that's exactly what they're saying here, is this is a marketplace where making money is going to be easier because you're going to be developing those relationships with the people who are following you. You can actually stream and get paid per the second. You can you can have payments to allow people into groups. You can have NFTs in your group that allow people to have you know, almost like a personalized experience. There's so many different things that you can do with it, and that kind of is what this goes into. Say you create something. Imagine being able to charge by the second, meaning you create a video, or you're a producer of some sort, or you produce art, or you produce logos. You can actually put this onto the network and people can actually pay you directly on the network itself for their use. Anytime they stream it, anytime they send it, you'll get kind of micro payments for that, which is going to be really incredible. I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to be able to pull it off. So last thing I want to talk about is just kind of the 4 aspects, and these are where I'm going to be doing some kind of the 4-part series here. This is obviously going to be a social network. It's going to be tightly knit. There's a lot of content, there's a lot of layers to this that are going to bring that social network that everybody's so familiar with, but bring into that decentralized space. The finance portion of it is there's going to be these social tokens. I'm going to have to do a channel or a video specifically just on that, and this is where we're going to be able to go into those NFTs and the tokenization of things within your community itself, which again is just the capabilities are endless, and it's going to be really interesting to see how the finance portion of things kind of play out, and how people utilize that within their communities. Asset streaming. So this is again what we were talking about. This is another way to monetize, where if you are going to be creating a video or creating music, creating images, you can actually have asset streaming. Because this blockchain is so fast, transaction speeds are incredibly quick, and they can actually do micropayments. You can actually charge by the second if people are watching your videos and things. So that's going to be really interesting. Then of course data. We all know data is money. This is exactly where Twitter, YouTube, and all these big companies actually garner a lot of their income. Unfortunately, it's your data. So the interesting is, when you are on these other major centralized things, your data is money, and that's why we've all seen it, and we've all had our conversations with our friends about it, that you'll be having a conversation about picnic tables with your friends, and all of a sudden you'll start getting a feed on your Instagram of picnic tables that are for sale and things. Well, what they're doing is they're taking your data from things you're searching, things you're speaking, things you're doing, and they're selling that to marketers. Well, in this case, with the data, you can actually decide what you want to do. You can advertise, you can not advertise. If you do, then that revenue should actually be coming back to the creator themselves, as opposed to going to the centralized entity, in essence making the rich richer. So that's going to be a real significant kind of game changer in here as well. As we mentioned just a moment ago, it will be powered on a blockchain that does incredibly fast transaction speeds. Like I said, they're currently touting that you can actually stream and get paid per the second, depending on your videos and things, and it actually is micropayments as well. Cross-chain communication, 3 big ones. Polkadot, as we know, huge in the space, coming up bigger and bigger. Ethereum, obviously the juggernaut with smart contracts and kind of the go-to for most people entering the space. And of course you can't dethrone the king, which is Bitcoin. To my knowledge, I believe you're going to be able to accept these as payments on there within the ecosystem, but we'll get into that as I dig deeper into this system here. So if you guys get a chance, come over. It's Privi protocol.io. These are really good reads. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'll read into these. Sometimes it gets a little complex just because it is a new concept. So what I'll do is I'm going to pull each one of these. We'll create another video specifically about some of the features that they're going to be offering as they go mainnet. But at least you have a little bit of an intro. Come over here, click around, check things out. I'll put a link to this website in the description of the video, and I'll look forward to digging in deeper and sharing with you guys what I find. Hope this was helpful. Have a good night.